Hi everyone, witchy words of wisdom here. I am here at the George Washington Estate in Virginia, in Mount Vernon. I actually work here as a kitchen assistant, but I wanted to take a tour because today is a beautiful day here in Virginia. I miss home though. I miss California. I miss California weather very much. Um, I'm here and I'm taking a tour to see if I can pick up any energy. And I'll tell you, as soon as I went into those slave quarters, I instantly wanted to cry. And that alone tells me that even though they say George Washington was great to his slaves, it led me to believe that he wasn't great to all of his slaves, or at least the people watching over the slaves were not great people. And I'm still trying to figure out whether George Washington, as a punishment, took slaves' teeth out on purpose for his teeth, or if their teeth needed to be removed. But when I saw the teeth, it didn't really look like that the slaves' teeth needed removal. So it made me wonder that it must have been some form of punishment. So anyway, let me go ahead and give you a feel of what it is that is out here. I'm not sure how many acres this place is. I'm thinking it's got to be at least 1,000 or more acres. And look at this beautiful tree. Yesterday was Earth Day, so make sure you praise God and, of course, the earth for all the wonderful things that she does for us. And these are part of the grounds. I'm waiting for the tour for the mansion. The tour mansion does not start until 11:50, and I still have about 20 minutes before the mansion tour starts. But this is part of the house. Later on, I'll come back, show you during the tour what's going on. Now, of course, you guys all should do your due diligence and do your own research and see how far that rabbit hole goes. I never really did research about George Washington because, to be honest with you, I am Black, Native Indian, and European. So I don't, still to this day, it does not resonate with my soul to call myself an American. So I still refer to the so-called Americas as Turtle Island, and I always will consider this place as Turtle Island. My ancestors took care of this land, as I will later on in the future take care of part of this land, and so forth and so on. Spiritual journeys that I am on are fun and sometimes exhausting and sometimes tiring, but don't stop yourself from growing consciously, spiritually, and body. Your body is a temple. Treat it as such. I'm not telling you that you have to stop eating, but just try to do better, as I have been trying to do better all of these years. I've almost mastered my nutritional diet. I tried to master my nutritional diet. It's just hard when you're sacrificing a lot of things to get ready for your destiny. So I will be back and I will show you guys what is going on in the mansion. And yes, I did make it a point to show on the outside of myself that I am an indigenous. So, but anyway, always make sure that you do your personal prayers to the Almighty Creator, and enjoy your guys' day. And until I come back, I will see you guys in a bit. Alright. So here I am, and the tour is about to start. So here we go. The open containers, just make sure they're sealed. Try not to touch your house because it's old. Alright, that's it. I considered him inspiration for his class. So you missed it. The Ladies Association of Mount Vernon paid off the debt to the estate in 1759, and in the 1760s when the Civil War happened, and they told them that they were not going to join the war. So here we go, and we are about to continue and go. I don't know what happened to my phone. The video completely cut off, so it's going to be a little silly. So now,
after the tour, the fence is behind, the gate is behind that magnolia tree.
So we're about to go onto the estate property and continue this tour. And for a little bit more information, also in case you missed it, they talked about the brick and wood on the house is, I think she said it is oak, and also it's all original panel still. They still, when every time they do reconstruction on the house, they still do the original basically ingredients that it is to continue the restorations on the houses. For some reason we are waiting right now to go to the estate. My phone is on 30%, so I might not be recording too much. So I might just continue the tour with photos. But we were told do not use flash. I guess the flash is not good for the stuff that is within the house. A lot of things are very antique and old, so I really don't know. So I'm not a chemist, so I can't tell you. But we're just waiting to go inside right now. It is a nice 73 degrees outside, but it feels like it's 80. And I chose to wear a sweater because it was chilly this morning. But you never know. We do have some clouds, a little bit of overcast today, but it is, other than that, it is pretty clear skies. See a beautiful day. Look at the beautiful sun. And this, we are waiting. So until to pause the video. So see you soon. Alright, we are finally moving. About to talk to the tour guide here in a minute, so let me pan over so you can hear him.
You may not be aware that the house was not built all at the same time. This process was about 50 years ago. The initial construction of the home here in the 1730s was for George Washington's father, Augustus, and it looked very much like the servants' hall of the in the 1730s. That's what a pretty nice planter's house looked like in Virginia.
He's talking about the garden house apartment.
So that's still what's there 20 years later when George Washington arrives here to take possession. It was nice house, but we're talking about a 22-year-old who is known not only all over North America, but he is a known name in the British Isles. And for what he's done against the French out there, fans out in the West. London in 1754, and so George Washington, you know who that is? Somebody you know will know. And so that's the kind of kid that we're talking about at 22. So he knows he has a future. He wants a more substantial house. He starts to argue with you know, the fact that he didn't legally own the house, didn't really enter into it, is the person that didn't really mind. He was improving the house that he owned, and sooner or later it was going to come to him anyway. So he has 8 new bedrooms to the place. And when you make a tour today, when you go into the part of the house, standing amongst 5 of those. Later on, after marriage to Mrs. Washington in 1759, they live in the place as it was. Oh, and you're going to have to leave you on tenterhooks because we're going to send you off the ramp right now. We're going to go over there. It's a cliffhanger. We'll never get the wings put on the house.
Alright, we're about to go to the next section of the tour. So here we go. I'm guessing that that is the entrance to the basement. These are, I want to say everything is original, but I guess we will find out. But the house definitely is original construction and original touch-ups, still the same ingredients to do the touch-ups. This is the view from the front lawn.
That's a heck of a slope, though.
So soon, waiting for our next tour guide to explain what all this is. So how many acres is the George Washington estate?
Well, today it's almost 500 that was bought back.
Okay.
In his time, he had 8,000 acres, like 12 square miles.
Right.
He had a lot of land. We have about a mile of frontage,
Okay.
and he had 10 miles, 500 side.
Okay.
That over there, that's Maryland on that side. Of course, actually, it's Maryland from the bottom of the hill, because as soon as the water touches our shore, Maryland owns all the water.
Okay.
Really? Yeah. Washington negotiated that treaty at Annapolis right before they got to talking about the Constitution.
Okay. How long have you worked here?
Started back in the end of September when I retired from teaching. So.
Oh, okay. What did you used to teach?
World history. For 30
Nice.
years. Never did much with American history. Thought it was pretty boring.
It is. I have to agree.
Yeah. Boring and provincial. Yeah. But then I started studying about Washington when I started working here. He's a pretty interesting character.
Now, I did have a question. Maybe you could answer. I'm not too sure. Now, his teeth, since it was the slave teeth. Now, were those teeth removed for punishment, or were they?
Oh no, they actually like people. He actually bought them from people. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he would like buy teeth.
Okay.
And then his dentist would mount them in the frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah, Washington was pretty good about that. He didn't torture anybody.
Okay, great. Because that's what I was wondering.
So much of that, like I know that one time when he was away, somebody whipped, one of the overseers whipped somebody. He got real upset about that because he said nobody was to be whipped unless he was there and knew why. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, they weren't really into that because
Right.
slave is not much fun.
No, of course not.
Bad enough to go to work every day, have to go to work for free.
Right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right, so for those coming in the house, good afternoon. You can come on the way in.
Sorry.
You folks are now in the oldest part of the mansion. So Washington's Weston, Washington.
built the original house in 1734, and you're standing it. 2 rooms on the right, 2 rooms on the left, 4 fireplaces, the door in front of you, that is the original door from 1734, as is all the hardware. And if you came to visit the Washingtons back in 1799, you're met by Frank Lee. Frank was the enslaved butler. His role was to determine who's going to come in the house and who's not, and once you're in the house, where you're going to wait to visit with the Washingtons. Family members and friends would go into this room, which is called the Little Parlor. And that musical instrument you're looking at is a harpsichord. This is Washington's granddaughter, Nellie Custis, who grew up here, was very good at the harpsichord. Washington got her one in 1793. That's an exact replica. And you folks will see the original in our museum when you leave today. The front parlor a little bit more elegant, and notables such as Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Patrick Henry, the Marquis de Lafayette all sat in that room with Washington. This house has 10 bedrooms and 9 are guest rooms. In 1799, there's 1 guest room over here to my left and 10, the only guest room on the first floor. And the room right next to that, kind of hard to miss, guys, is the green dining room. And believe it or not, that is the color it was. It's called verdigris. Very bright, very expensive. Again, if you had that in your walls back in 1799, you were doing pretty well. Breakfast is served at 7. And the largest meal we gave was at 3 o'clock, a 4-course meal around about 2 or 3 hours. So that was their main meal. The key in the wall here is one of the keys to the Bastille prison in Paris, France, given to Washington by his very good friend, Marquis de Lafayette. Gave that to him as a sign of French liberty. So he considered Washington the father of all liberty. And that key's been hanging here since 1797. So again, that is one of the original keys to the Bastille prison in Paris, France. Your next stop's going to be the upper hall. And this is kind of neat, guys. When you guys go up, that banister is from 1758. It is black walnut. That is original to the house. You folks have a great day. So your next stop will be upstairs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. I thought you guys would come on in. Hey folks, good afternoon. For those coming back in the house, you're coming the oldest part of the house. You guys come on in. For those coming in, good afternoon. You're now coming into the central passage. You can take all the pictures you want as long as it's in a flash or video. I mean, actually, the flash goes off. It's just not allowed. Don't worry about it. You guys come on in. Yes, you guys can take pictures as long as it's not flash or video. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon.
3 bedrooms and our storage upstairs. My granddaughter had one of these. They used to say it was this, but now they think it's that way. So we're not sure. But yeah. So hi everyone, you'll be seeing some guest bedrooms up here, and I'll tell you about it. We'll just we'll make sure we have everything up here. Yeah, you'll see some guest bedrooms. Please check this area. So you're gonna see a couple of guest bedrooms. We'll try to get everybody off the stairs.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Not a whole lot of
Oh, wow.
space here, but we'll
Like that blue, royal blue.
we'll try to get everybody up here. So yeah, there's some guest bedrooms up here.
Quite big for guest bedrooms back in the day.
Bedrooms.
Very nice for a guest bedroom.
3 of them are upstairs, so you might be surprised to see all the wallpaper. They imported wallpaper from France, so they're pretty sure this is how it all looked in 1799. There's Washington's a lot of details.
This is the original wallpaper.
So they called that first bedroom the blue bedroom, so that was the guest room. They usually didn't write down who slept where, except we do know that Lafayette stayed in that second room on one of his visits. Well, he visited here in 1784 and stayed in that room for a few weeks. So that painting is a copy of the Lafayette painting that would have been in there after he left. So the small bedroom was a storage room up until 1798. Then was Washington's first year retirement after his presidency ended. They had a lot of extra guests. They recorded 677 overnight stays during that 1 year. So they had to turn it into a spare bedroom. Of course, guests would stay as long as they wanted to, free of charge, all meals provided, laundry done for them. Several enslaved women were doing all the housework here, like Caroline, Brianna, Molly, and Sal. They were the chambermaids. So You'll see, a chamber pot on the floor in there. And then this room does have a calling system. The bells are out on the south end there. The Washington's room was on the other end, so they'd have privacy. So it's going to be after this yellow guest bedroom. They weren't going that way though. They had their own staircase, so you'll go down later. So make sure you look at everything, and then you'll see their room soon. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome. So everyone, you'll be seeing some guest rooms up here. So,
I'm here for you.
all right.
Get a tour, a private tour for you.
Pardon me, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
It's kind of dark in here. So apparently the wallpaper has been imported from France, so they can try to stay with the original aesthetics of the original building of the house. Interesting. It's probably some expensive wallpaper though now, nowadays. Back then it was probably like $10.
Hi, how are you? Fantastic. How are
Other
you?
storage.
Yep.
George and Martha's room, so everybody's going to see it. There's room over here if you want to come. Thank you very much for your patience. All right, are we all in? Are you at the end?
No, I think there's more people back there.
Are you at the end?
No.
Okay. George and Martha's bedroom. Jenna Washington passed away in that room on that bed, December 14, 1799. He is 67 years old. No closet rise back then. It's a bed frame, which is original. When he passed away, Mrs. Washington closes off that bedroom. She does not return. She moves upstairs, and she will pass away 3 years later at the age of 67. This is her office. She runs the household. So you're going to see his office next. 2 closets in back, hers and hers, as it should be. All right, you're going to go downstairs. Watch your head clearance is 5'8". 200,000 8th graders a year. Haven't lost one yet, but still early.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bedroom storage. Want to see it? Yeah, lose my job. That's all right. Had it 10 years. Time to move on.
Gotta do something new.
All right, this is George Martha's room. George dies in that room on that bed. Once you guys see it, we're going to go over to that corner. So get everybody in.
Come in, double up, please. Step right on in.
Oh wow, look at all those books.
George Washington's study.
This is George Washington's study, in case you didn't hear that.
All right, George Washington's study. Now, I would like you to think about this. George Washington walked on these floors. He opened this bookcase. On a hot day, he sat at his fan chair, pushed the foot pedals, the swinging fan provided a breeze. At night, he took that telescope outside to watch the stars. And in 1799, he sat at this desk to write his will. in which he freed all the enslaved people he owned. I hope you have enjoyed his home. Now you'll go outside to see the kitchen. You'll exit beneath John Paul Jones. You'll see the butler's pantry just to the left. Would you please open the big brown door, turn left to the kitchen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there's the other side of the kitchen. All right. Honeysuckles. Used to eat the honey out of these when I was a kid. Don't do it now, though. There's too many pesticides. The tour of the mansion is about to be over. I hope you guys were able to hear everything. This is the kitchen.
Yeah, cold storage. Or wood, probably wood storage for the stove.
Esto es como un refrigerador. Javi.
Nothing I can think of.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
No worries.
Just to let you know, all the grounds are self-guided from here on out.
All right, thank you so much.
No worries.
The mansion tour is officially over. Now to go and explore the rest of the grounds. And I'm going to have to piece some video stuff together as I had some video malfunctions. I'm doing this from my cell phone, so you know how that goes with these touch screens. They're so sensitive. So anywho, I'm going to keep exploring and yeah, I might show some more videos. Not too sure though. We will see, but that may be it. So all of you have a beautiful day and enjoy the beautiful weather. Alright, peace out. It says here, for thousands of years before the Washington family acquired this land in 1674, Native Americans resided here. Native Indians resided here. On the hilltop beyond this sign, archaeologists have excavated a variety of prehistoric Indian artifacts. This high point of land rising above the river offered an attractive seasonal hunting, fishing, and feasting ground for Native Indians. I do apologize, I am not the best reader. Archaic peoples in the region numbered in the tens of thousands. They continued to practice hunting and gathering while also making steps towards a more settled lifestyle, which created new forms of social organizations or tribes living in seasonal villages. At the time of European contact, 3 separate groups of tribes, the Dodge, Potawatomi, and the Piscataway, lived along this stretch of the Potomac River, using the rich resources from both the rivers and the forests. When George Washington moved to Mount Vernon in 1754, there were few native Indians in the area. Washington chose the name Dodge Run for one of his 5 farms at Mount Vernon. The protected forest part of Mount Vernon's viewshed, which exists today across the Potomac River in Maryland, is called Piscataqua National Park. Here it is. Feel free to pause. These casts represent projectile points found at Mount Vernon, dating to the late Archaic period, 5,900 to 3,200 years ago. The photos show their actual sizes. Moving on. And where I am right now, I am in the forest of the estate. Termites. I wonder if you can see any of them. Probably not. Probably like deep down underground right now. But they've been going to town on this tree. And then here is this here. And then it says here that the forest around George Washington's home has been preserved and protected since the late quarter of the 18th century, beginning with Washington himself. A working plantation made great demands on the surrounding forest, as wood was needed for many things. To avoid sacrificing additional forest for fields, Washington experimented to enhance the fertility of the land he was already farming. Always maintaining his woodland, he kept his forested land relatively clear by using fallen timber for firewood and fence rails. In fact, it was Washington's goal to create living fences that would not have to be replaced. Interesting. And then it says, wood was not used for railroad ties. Railroads, as we know them today, were not in the vicinity of Mount Vernon in the 18th century. And it says here a quote by George Washington on October 1792. That by entwining them as they grow up, I may have a substitute for the fence that are now there. First, because it is indispensably necessary to save timber and labor, and secondly, because it is ornamental to the farm and reputable to the farmer. And then here's another quote on here from George Washington. The idea of getting rails for fences out of the dead and decaying timber, I much approve for the waste which has been committed on my timber and wood hitherto. I'm not sure what that is. Has really been shameful. George Washington, February 1794. Hitherto. I don't know what exactly that means, but you could look it up. I can't really look it up right now because I am recording. So here we go. More down the trail. It's beautiful out here. Very beautiful out here, by the way. Take off my shades so I can actually see the scenery. The shades that I am wearing, by the way, belong to my father. They are vintage. They don't even make this color anymore. They are Ray-Bans. My fiance took them to a guy to get as much as the scratches that were in it, and he also replaced, I don't know exactly, all that sit here on the nose. I do apologize for the redness of my face, as I used my facial vacuum to remove some gross stuff that had been harboring on my face for quite some time. So anyway, please excuse the redness. Yeah, so these are vintage. As my soul is vintage as fuck, so it really resonates with me to get old stuff. So here we go. Moving on, next place here. I'm not going to read all of this. As you can see, it's just about the animals that, live here. So, in the forest. So, this one I will lift up for you. And they don't have that one. My guess is someone stole it. Or it fell off. Who really knows? I love foxes. There's so many around here, actually. It's great to see them. But they tend to do a lot of traveling at night, so people don't disturb them, which is great. Foxes are very cunning, very smart. And we are moving on. Here's another one. You can pause the video if you want to read everything. These look like a mastiff, but I'm not too sure. But you can read about it. I'm not going to read about it because I don't really feel like it. I did say earlier before, I'm not the best reader, but I do what I can. We all kind of suffer with reading, to be honest, even those of us who are intelligent and geniuses. The thing about reading is, if you haven't done it in a long time and you go to read, you tend to skip over yourself and be like, oh yeah, even though you use these words on a daily, you tend to forget what they actually look like when they're written down. Here's another one. So, my phone is on its last legs, so I am going to have to cut the tour of the forest here short. I do apologize. Please forgive me. But, like I said, this place is in Mount Vernon, Virginia. If you are on a road trip or whatever and you want to come down here, they say tickets are about $60 a pop per adult. So, and then they have the Mount Vernon restaurant as well. It's not really the best restaurant. It's supposed to be 5-star, but to be honest with you, the food isn't that great. They do not season it very well. And to be honest with you, they need a refresher of the menu and a refresher of how to make food properly. So, because we had a wedding the other day with some rich clients, and they complained about the food. The only thing that they were eating was the pretzels, and those came frozen and had to be baked, but they are soft pretzels. And that's the only thing that they ate all night. They complained about all the food. Of course, they ate what they could because, people are hungry. They're going to eat. But anyway, that was it. And bye. Oh, and have a blessed day. And may all of you have a wonderful rest of your week.